Um, Welcome to our streaming seminar. It's gonna be super awesome. Great start, I know, right? But yeah, we have a whole bunch of really awesome stuff lined up for you. I'm ohhellosara. This is Biff,
Hello.
and we have a lot of awesome stuff to do today. A lot of really cool topics. We have some giveaways for you guys. We have a Binks raid going on right now. So make sure that if you guys haven't already, please join Binks. You have an invite link right there for you. You can get it on these Steam giveaways. It'll be super awesome, super fun. So let's get started. Make sure you guys please do me a favor. We have lots of awesome guests today. They all deserve your love. Please follow all of those amazing people, and you do need to follow them to get in the $25 Amazon giveaway to win. So yeah, it's gonna be super amazing. So let's get started. So our first topic that we're gonna talk about is gonna be equipment. So where to put your money. Starting off streaming, kind of what are you gonna do? So, I mean, you have your actual PC specs, I mean, you have lighting, lots of stuff to talk about. So I guess when it comes into PC, so you have a lot of different things that people are gonna do. You have like, the pre-built computers that you can buy, you can build your own. Obviously with crypto farming, you get into like the GPU issues and stuff. um but yeah, so I mean, Biff, how much do you think you spent on your computer build over time?
Man, with this build, I'm probably the initial cost when I first built it before I upgraded GPUs, I was at about 1400. And then I bought the new GPU. This was before graphics cards exploded though, because the crypto mining and RAM costs and everything else. It's probably around like 2200 now, not including microphone, webcam, 3 monitors. That's just the tower itself, So it can get costly. It can get costly really quick if you allow it to, but there are inexpensive ways to be able to make a quality stream and build as you go.
It's so true. That's one thing that people don't underestimate. Like, people underestimate the ability to build as you go and to start going and everything. Because for me, my computer originally was a pre-built computer that I bought, I think, for $500, like a long time ago. And from there, basically over the years of just gaming in general, let alone streaming, I slowly, I upgraded one thing, then I upgraded another thing, and then, I actually started streaming, and that's when it turned into like, okay, I need to make a big upgrade. And obviously it took time to save up for it, but there was that huge like, okay, I need to like actually, upgrade my equipment to a bigger point. But it depends on like also what games are you playing. Like you can't play PUBG on stream if you don't have a computer that's ready to play PUBG on stream. Like that's one thing that you run into. And
yeah, you really got to watch like CPU usage, what kind of, yeah, exactly like Sarah said, CPU usage, graphics stress, stuff like that. And then on top of that, you have to realize that if you're not going to be doing a dual stream setup or a dual PC setup, all that stress is going to be basically times 2 because you're encoding all that video that you're sending out to the streaming source as well.
yeah, that's a really good point. But yeah, I think my biggest thing when I was searching for stuff, I mean, everyone's going to have their own opinion. No matter what the topic is, everyone's going to have their opinion on what's best. So it comes to a point where you're going to have to kind of figure out, okay, what works for you? Where do you want to put your money into? Again, what is it that you're trying to stream? Are you doing like, video games that are extremely intensive and you need to have the CPU that's going to be able to comply with what you're trying to do? Do you want the graphics? Are you running 2 monitors? Are you running 3 monitors? That's another thing. Like, I definitely recommend when it comes to monitors, oh my goodness, 2 monitors was the greatest investment. 3 isn't needed, but for streaming, I definitely think that 2 monitors is going to help improve the quality of your stream to a maximum, because you can have your main thing going on the one side, and then you have your other monitor that has everything. You can have your followers alerts, your chat, all that stuff, and it helps. Because I think one of the big things, obviously, being able to talk to your chat helps a lot with your stream, and I think it's kind of an important thing. but you get into people, it depends on what you really want. Like, if money crunching is a hard thing, save your money for your main monitor and just use like an older monitor for your side one. You got lots of options. I know that I listed the monitors that I have in my Amazon setup and everything. I think Biff probably, do you have a Amazon setup in your
I
profile?
don't actually. I don't know why. I do have my all my specs and stuff listed on my info panels in my page, though. I just don't have like an Amazon buy link, just because
Mm-hmm.
stuff changes so much.
Yeah.
If people, really want to worry about it, I guess for me, anyways, I was like, well, they can just copy paste. But maybe I'll switch over and do one of those Amazon lists too. I never thought about it.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then the other thing you're gonna get into is, okay, so you have two different sides of the story here. So I don't use green screen. I just have a setup behind me. Biff has this. What did you say that you bought? Was
I've got the Elgato gaming green screen, so that thing is amazing.
the higher end of green screens, but
Yeah,
obviously,
probably. Well, like what aside from like buying like a studio one for like professional photography, probably one of the most expensive ones you could buy.
yeah. So there you go. You have like different options in terms of what you want to do for green screen, if you even want to. Obviously, do you want to put some money and investments into setting up your background, because you have the people that have like the really active backgrounds. Then you have Biff, who does like all the really cool effects, which works better for green screen, variety gaming, all that stuff. So that's kind of another thing on where you decide, you know where's the best decisions in that term. And then
Well,
lighting.
and yeah, exactly. I mean, like exactly. It's gonna be, what you feel is best for you. And then on top of that, when I first started streaming, I actually streamed with this, and this is just a tapestry that I bought on Amazon for like $20
It looks
and
really
just
cool.
taped or stapled it to not stapled, used thumbtacks on the ceiling and then just let it drop behind me, just so I had some kind of background. So it wasn't, oh, there's my bed and bedroom.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And then I think another huge thing that I just invested in that was a huge improvement to my stream is going to be lighting. Um, so I know that Biff and I both have the same brand of light. We both have the newer ring light. Mine's LED, and then what kind was yours? It was
It's fluorescent.
fluorescent. Okay. So I mean, you both have is the fluorescent one adjustable?
Yeah, it is dimmable, but I'm sure the
Okay.
LED probably has more settings. Mine is like bright, kind of bright, and then ultra bright, and it like burns your retinas out.
So everyone still thought that you had a green screen. Yeah.
Oh, no, I do, but I'm just not using it right now.
So yeah, I mean, you have lots of different options with that. I think that having good lighting though, like really does make a good improvement in terms of that. I mean, I had an issue with it for a long time because I don't have a light on top of my room over there. I always had a lamp. So now I actually have like a good setup for it and everything. And I think that's an important thing to put into your light if you're doing that. Obviously, like some sort of decent camera, you don't have to do like super expensive, because I have a new camera. And then when I stream OSU, I use a hand cam and an old camera, and I have my 320, I think it is, and the quality of it is still really, really good. So it's like, it just depends. You can get good quality from a not super brand new camera. So like, don't feel
Oh,
like,
I
oh my
mean,
gosh, I have to buy the most expensive camera.
no, you really don't. And then honestly, like a lot of people don't think about it. There's actually 99.9% of the people own cell phones with decent cameras. There's actually ways you can use your cell phone as a webcam. There's just
Hmm.
I'll see if I can find the Google link for it, but which is actually a really good way to do it if you don't feel like spending money on a camera right now.
Yeah, that's really, really awesome. And it's a cool thing to do. I mean, there's just so much stuff. And then, it just turns into like, once you get the camera working, I mean, that's kind of your main stuff. You're looking at monitors, cameras, lighting, your CPU, and then the rest is just going to be like extras. So, I mean, like, do you want to put money into like buying things for your background and artwork? I know in my Amazon link, I think I still have it in there. I bought an LED wire that was 32 feet long, and it's all adjustable, and that's how I light my room up. I can change the colors to whatever I want, and it works for me. Or, if you go the green screen route, then you worry less about, the extras for your room and the design. So it's, kind of one of those things where you get to pick what you want to do. So and then you get
Yeah,
other extras.
absolutely.
Hmm.
But yeah, like you were talking about. I mean, lighting's one of the biggest things. If you're gonna have a camera, no one wants to sit and look at someone sitting in the dark, heavy breathing into the freaking microphone. Like, okay, what's this guy doing? Why am I watching this guy right now? You know, it's all about production quality, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah. Um, So I think another thing that you're gonna run into as well when it turns to money and stuff, you're gonna get into people that are gonna discuss like microphones. I use a Blue Yeti. I know lots of people that use Blue Yetis. You have the regular one and the Snowball. I think that's a really, really common USB one. And it's affordable. I mean, this one I think it was like 120, 130 bucks, and it came with the boom arm and the mic stand. It was affordable and had everything that I needed. Pop filter and all that stuff. Which one do you use?
I've got a Samsung CO1U Pro, and then I actually was using a less expensive boom arm, but this microphone with the um, shock mount is extremely heavy. So I ended up picking up the Rode PSA 1 boom arm, and this thing is solid. Like, I mean, the sad thing is the boom arm costs more than my microphone. The microphone actually is decently inexpensive at like 80 bucks, and I get amazing sound quality out of this thing.
Hmm. All right. So Chronic TV had a question. They said single beefy PC versus a dual PC setup. So essentially I'm assuming what you're asking about is like when people have like the one PC that they use to stream off of and then the one PC that they use gaming off of, as opposed to one really strong computer. From my personal experience, it depends on how much you're going to put into your actual computer. So you could potentially, get like how much quality do you want to take away from your actual gaming PC? Because if you put the money into having a good gaming computer and then you want to put the money into having the computer that's going to stream for you, um, couldn't you just kind of combine that money into making one good computer? Because I know I put the money into a computer that's a pretty high quality, and I have literally no issues with streaming and playing video games off of it. I don't run into that problem. So I think that's kind of, in my opinion, I think it's literally up to you. Like, if you don't want to go and upgrade both computers, it's just kind of where you want to put your money into it, because you're either going to split the money or you're going to put it into one. And if you're going to put all the money into one computer, I think that computer should be good enough to run your games and your stream. I'm not sure
Right.
what's your opinion on that one.
No, I absolutely agree. You know, the big thing is what you got to think about what you're going to be playing. Now, if you're going to be playing a bunch of AAA titles that are going to be resource hungry, then consider getting into a two PC stream setup. Because I'm telling you, like, I've got a i7 4790K, so it's a fourth gen i7 processor, which is still pretty beefy. I mean, but the technology that's out now, we're in the eighth generation. That's almost 4 or 5 years old now. I can't stream Far Cry 5 right now with one PC. So I'm actually really debating on building a second PC setup. Now, with that, you've got audio issues. You've got to have both computers talk to each other. There's a lot that goes into it. But at the end of the day, you can put all the strain on your streaming PC and not have to worry about any input lag or anything else on your gaming side because your streaming PC is doing all the work. Um, so again, I know I do it. I'm pretty sure Sarah, you stream just single PC as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, and 90% of the time, it's gonna be fine. It's really when you get into that next level stuff, and if your stuff is getting a little bit older, see, I would love to upgrade my CPU, but I've got an older socket type, so I can't even upgrade my CPU anymore because
Without upgrading your
uh,
motherboard.
yeah, and then I upgrade my motherboard. Now I've got to buy DDR4 RAM instead of DDR3. So now it's like I might as well just build a new computer anyways.
So essentially what he's talking about is I'm in the situation where I looked at that and I wanted to upgrade everything, and I essentially have an entirely new setup. I have a new motherboard, new RAM, a new CPU. I literally replaced everything in my computer, got a new power supply. The only thing that I think is not new is my graphics card. So I mean, essentially, I haven't tried playing Far Cry. I haven't tried, those really extensive games. That's not really what I play.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't have issues at all, but my computer's a beast. So I mean, if I were to, be like, okay, well, I want to do the whole, dual computer setup and everything. If I'm going to build another computer, why would you purposely build a computer that's not as good? Because one of them isn't going to be good enough to run everything. So why would you want to split the quality? So in my opinion, I think that if you're going to get a beefy computer, I think you'll be okay. But obviously,
just if you're gonna build it. Don't go half-ass on it. If you're gonna build it.
Definitely agree with that. So another thing that I have on here to talk about in terms of spending money. So things that people look into, you have artwork designers. So I know I am not a fancy smancy awesome person when it comes to designing and using Photoshop. And there's a lot of art that goes into making a quality stream. You see like Biff has an amazing logo. I mean, I don't have a logo. I should. But, you look at logos, you look at emotes for when you get subbed, you look at, artwork for your panels, for your profile, layouts, all that stuff. There's so much, and that can be costly too. That's a hard thing because you're going to run into, well, do you have someone who's going to do it for you, or are you going to dish out money, and where do you want to put your money into it? Now, I wouldn't recommend spending money on it if you still need to, improve your stream quality, because what's the point of having cool panels and a cool overlay if you don't have the quality of your stream set up first? I think that that's kind of one of those things where you should consider your priorities first.
Exactly. Totally.
But then shopping around too, because first off, you never know who you know. I had friends that did some stuff for me that turned out really amazing. I mean, all of my panels in my profile were made by one of my friends that matched my entire setup for my Osu stream overlay, and I just was like, hey, here's this picture I love, and they just made everything for me. And it was pretty simple Photoshop skills, but more than I knew how to do, and it worked out really well. But then I just paid someone to make emotes for me, and a chibi that I can use for merch or whatever I want to do. So I'm at a point where I spent money to do that stuff because I already had it. So it's kind of one of those things where if you're just starting streaming, you want to focus on your priorities first, but those extras are always fun.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I mean, like you said, get a hold of people. You never know who knows what. You might have a friend that just dabbles in Photoshop or something, or Illustrator, but you might be able to get something cool for cheap or for free because they just want to help you out. And then on top of that, if you are going to speak to people about building new assets, think about merch too. Like if that's something you want to do, make sure you have the copyright for that you don't have to pay extra for that, because I know a lot of people that have logos and designs and stuff, but they don't have they didn't pay for the rights to make products out of it. So that's something to think about too. And obviously that's down the road for some people, that might be right around the corner for others, but it's just something to think about for the future. Absolutely.
Yeah, very true. I did see this and I wanted to address it. How much you spend on Wi-Fi? What are the upload speeds and ping? I know it's very different speeds and prices in different places. So how does your area affect that? So we have AT&T Uverse. We had, I think, 50 download and 6 upload, and we were having issues with Wi-Fi. Now, my house, I was in a bad situation. Our router is in the basement on the opposite side of the house, and I live upstairs on the other side of the house. So I am as far away possible in our house from the router as possible, which was kind of rough. So I actually, believe it or not, paid someone to come and hardwire my computer. They ran a cord all the way up so that way I'm hardwired, because streaming on Wi-Fi was not going to happen, especially when I had literally no connection. That was one thing we did. But we called about trying to strengthen our Wi-Fi signal in general, and we actually did get an upgrade because they had ran new lines. I recommend every once in a while call your cable company, because we called them. we got an upgrade to 100 download and 10 upload speed for free because they just ran new wires. And we called them, we asked about it. We're like, hey, we're wondering, our Wi-Fi is really weak. And they're just like, oh, well, we have this new thing now, so you're all set. And
oh, here you go.
yeah, and it was literally free. It cost us nothing. I think it's hard for me to say exactly how much we spend on everything because we have our internet, cable, Wi-Fi, and a phone line and a fax line. So that's hard to say.
Is this 1983? You said fax?
Well, real estate agent and my dad's business, we both had the fax stuff. So making my heart hurt. Oh my goodness. But for the essentials, so it's hard for me to say exactly what the bundle is since I can't really say how much you pay for internet since most homes just get internet. They don't even have a home line anymore. But you get a lot of different things. Wi-Fi varies widely too frequently. It's very true. That's why hardwire was like immediate importance to me.
Yeah, that's the bit you definitely want to make sure you're hardline regardless, because you're gonna get your most stable connection there. Absolutely.
Alrighty. A fax machine? Yes, a fax machine. So
sorry.
Well, I mean, we weren't asking for anything that's free, though. It's just one of those things in general, just like asking every once in a while, call and be like, hey, are there any upgrades in my areas? Because you do
just
hear
see if there's anything available.
Because you're gonna see different things from different companies. They're gonna say, that they have different speeds available. You're gonna have different, different things that are available depending. Because just because you're not paying for it doesn't mean they don't have a wire there. And like I said, when we called and we're just like, hey, we're just trying to improve our overall quality or get our signals to be stronger, they're like, well, we've installed a new line and we'll just upgrade it for you. It's not asking if it's free, just asking, hey, have you guys like updated anything recently? Is there any way I can improve my signal? And they make changes because you're not the only one on your street that has internet. So I mean, they have everything going on. So
you never know, you might get fiber someday.
Absolutely.
That would be nice.
Checking to see if you have any more questions on this topic.
Yeah.
Let's see. That interaction is clearly important, but also making sure it's relatable. Considering oh no, sorry, it's the wrong thing. Okay, between a second monitor having a view of the chat and respond in stream and a webcam for your viewers to be able to attach a face to you and essentially relate more than just you being a voice behind a screen, which should you invest in first? So logo or a second monitor or a webcam?
I would say webcam first. I know me personally, I don't usually watch streams without a webcam. I don't know why. I think I just like that personal touch that a webcam can offer as far as like, a streamer. I can't think of anyone that I watch that doesn't have a webcam, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's weird. I don't want to say it's a turnoff or anything, but it's just like, okay, do you not, and if you can't afford it, that's cool. I understand. It's just when I pop in first impressions, I'm like, oh, okay. But that's just me. That's not everybody. There's a lot of people out there. Shit, there's partnered streamers out there that don't use webcams. Some of them don't even use mics. And they're, so it's all about, engaging with your audience however you can. Now, if you feel like a webcam is something you want to do, then I would make that your first purchase. Absolutely.
But then again, if you don't want to have a webcam, you could do it from both sides. But then you need to make sure that your stream is active and interactive. Because there are some people that don't want to use a webcam. Maybe you don't want to be on camera. Okay, well, you have a couple different options. One, you could use, you have like those cool things like the face rigs that change your face if that's the issue. If you don't want to have a webcam and you don't have one and you don't want to buy one, I would consider maybe the second monitor that we don't have to tab everything as much. I would maybe hold off on a logo because obviously you have a little bit more time in terms of deciding what it is you want it to be. But if you're going to have a stream that doesn't have a webcam, I'm not relating with your face, that's true. But what you can do is hopefully make an entertaining stream. So I would maybe put money towards like making sure that your stream looks interesting. You really, really, really want to make sure that you're interacting with your chat and talking to everybody, because that's where it's going to be huge, because you want people to be able to have something to talk to. So if you're not going to have a camera, you better be reading that chat. So if change my answer to the second monitor, yeah, definitely confirming the second monitor, because you want to respond to everything they say. You want to make sure that you're interacting with everybody, because you need to keep them there, because you can't, be going crazy on stream and doing all this extra stuff. You want to make sure that people see you and they're interested in what you're saying and they want to find a relation to you. And if it's not going to be through seeing your face, you want to make it through having a conversation. So
Right. Absolutely. Another thing you can do is if you set up a bot or anything, a lot of people like those little mini games that bots can offer. So that's, it's kind of a little cheap way to get people to continue moving the conversation on, because, it's all about building that community at the end of the day, and do it however you need to do it. But camaraderie, I find, is the biggest thing, and being welcoming regardless. Always be welcoming.
yeah, definitely you want to say hi to everybody that pops up in that chat. I think that's a huge, huge thing. It'll make a huge difference for you.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think for now that about sums up the things to talk about for equipment. Again, if we missed anything or didn't address anything that you wanted to talk about, we do have the ask command. Feel free to click that link. You can go in and type any questions and just stick it into the open discussion section, and we'll get back to it. We are going to jump into a quick intermission as we get ready to bring your next guests in. We're gonna have two of our members from OBS here to help talk to you guys about setting up OBS and all that fun stuff. So we will be right back.